like this because it's about receiving out of nowhere and then being able to want to give to others out of nowhere. It's like this spiritual force that is being passed along to other people, and still enough to keep in our hearts. So, and more gratitude can fill our hearts too. There's definitely room for gratitude always. And as we turn to the page here, we'll start to see more of this chain reaction. One of those 5 was Joseph, old and bent and gray, in front of him in line at the produce stand. When he said, I guess I counted wrong. I don't really need those oranges. Little James reached out to him with an orange from their basket, and Mario put a coin in Joseph's hand and said, here, take this. The oranges are on us. As Joseph shuffled to the bus, his heart was full and his eyes were wet, and his hands did helpful things for the next 5 people he met. Wow. So I love that the little boy was paying attention to what was happening, and he wanted to give a helping hand here to this man, and he's so thankful, so thankful. Joseph decided to just do really kind, helpful things to 5 other people. Now, one of those 5 was Sahar, a college girl who was off to see the world and stopped at Joseph's shop. Now, when her bag broke and her things fell all over the floor, she said, oh, what will I do? Joseph said, this is for you. And he gave her a new bag woven with his own hands in red and purple and green. Oh, thank you, she said. It's the loveliest bag I've ever seen. When Sahar left, she felt sunny as noon, and she just had to shine on 5 people soon. Okay, because she needed help. And Joseph went ahead and decided, I am going to help her. And again, from a thankful heart as he did so. So as we continue the story here, it says one of those 5 was Sophia. All right, that Sahar encountered, whom she met on a boat, looking like the world might end, looking like someone without a friend. What beautiful blue eyes you have, Sahar said, and they're just the color of the flowers in your lovely dress. Yes, said Sophia. Oh, yes, said Sahar. The beautiful blue eyes shed a happy tear, and when the boat trip was through, Sophia called 5 people to make them happy too. Now, interesting, it motivated her so much to literally call up friends and give compliments. Now, wow, this is one of my favorite transactions here. Because it seems like, Sahar here was just just so thankful, because she had a need here and it was met. Now Sophia had a need too, and it was met by Sahar's kind words. Now, these kind words went a long way. So now as we continue on here, it says, one of those 5 was Tom, her son, the doctor, right? Sophia, who was having a very hard day. Hi, she said, I love you, Tom. Well, how great to hear your voice. He said, I always need my mom. Dr. Tom was so cheered up that on his next break, he bought a big bunch of bright balloons for 5 young patients, and he handed them out right then and there. Wow, so Tom decided to give his patients here some exciting gifts, and that of course will make them extra happy. Now, one of those 5 was Peter, a little boy who went home from the hospital that very day. So not only did he get to leave the hospital, he got a balloon. How special that moment must be feeling. It must be lingering here for a while. And so gratitude for the big bunch of bright balloons filled him and thrilled him and spilled out of him and onto the next 5 people who came his way. One of those 5 was Eric, a teenage boy whose sacks and such were way too much. He was carrying so much grocery. It's just overwhelming. A whole bag here just fell. And it says here, when one dropped on the sidewalk, Peter stopped his play and rushed right over, saying, Super Wheels to the rescue. Okay, Peter with the wheelchair, while Eric, no longer stressed, was very impressed and made a mental note that very afternoon to help 5 people and do it soon. Okay, before the day ends, he wants to make sure that that gets done. He didn't procrastinate. He was operating again out of a thankful heart because there was a need. It was met, and was met with so much enthusiasm, so much sincerity, so much joy, and so much just pure thankfulness of everything that's going on in his life, his day. And so as we turn to the page here. One of those 5 was D, his 10-year-old sister, who didn't have many friends and was painfully shy. Okay, when Eric said, hey, sis, want to come to the park and learn how to ride my skateboard? She looked at him wide-eyed, serious. She cried, is serious? Sure, he said. And because of her brother, Dee decided maybe she could be a friend to another 5 others. Ah, okay. So he helped his sister, and the sister talked to this woman over here. She is a homeless woman. One of those 5 was Louise, a homeless woman who lived under the trees. She could barely believe her ears when she heard Dee say, may my brother and I buy you a hot dog and a drink at that stand over there? Could it be true? Someone actually cared enough to give her food and a smiley face ring that was practically new. Louise was so pleased that she decided that even though she had nothing, she would find 5 others and give them something. You know, even if it's something a little, but again, it comes from the heart, and that will show. One of those 5s was Amara, who lost her wallet in the park. Louise found it full of 5s and 10s and 20s, what she could do with all that money, but she found Amara's name and called her home, and over she came. Amara was so impressed that Louise was honest when money was something she clearly needed that she offered her a job in her store and vowed to do something generous for 5 people or more. Once she got to working at that store, maybe immediately. That is so awesome. And one of those 5 was Kate, a woman on vacation who wanted to see a show she'd heard was a sensation. Oh no, she said, it's sold out, but I'm going home tomorrow, and her face filled with sorrow. Amara held out her ticket. I live here, she said. I can go anytime. Take mine. Kate loved the show and was so touched that she thought buying 5 presents for 5 people back home would really be fun as a souvenir. And one of those 5 presents was a little heart necklace for Mary, her niece. And you should have seen her eyes light up in surprise. She really loves that necklace here. It's a beautiful heart necklace. And Mary, what? Ordinary Mary? Yes, Ordinary Mary's extraordinary deed had come full circle, and on its way it had changed the lives of every person living. You see, when Mrs. Bishop made muffins from Mary's blueberries, not only the paper boy Billy Parker, but the other 4 people too made 5 people smile, and those 5 did too. And after a while, in only 16 days, love was sent to every person everywhere. Just see how it went. Okay, and then we get to see the numbers here. It goes from 1 digit to 3 digit to on and on and on. It looks to me here like in the billions. With, I think they look like lemons in the background here, but either way, it's going to be numbers all around this page. And, you know, these are all numbers that represent people, that represent souls, that definitely had more of a positive influence in their spheres of influence somehow, some way. And that's always going to be embedded in their heart. But furthermore, it's going to come out, spill out to touch other people's lives and affect them more good than bad. And, you know, that's the way that the world works. Now, what you put out there, it's going to come back to you. And what you put out there matters. So as we turn to the page here, well, 30 billion is way more than all of the people on the planet. So after everyone had a share and everybody knew that somebody cared, there was even love left over. So that's why, because it was spilling out to just put that out there in the world. And that's going to be present here. So the world was changed, and thousands of millions of billions agreed. It was all because one ordinary day, Ordinary Mary did a perfectly ordinary, stunningly earth-shaking, totally extraordinary deed.